Welcome to Halal Business Management. My name is Dr. Marco Tiemann. I'm a professor in Halal Supply Chain Management with Help University and the author of the book Halal Business Management, a guide to achieving halal excellence. In this video, I'm answering the question, what is halal purchasing? Let me just get the slides up. When we talk about purchasing, it's everything you receive an invoice for. I would like to discuss what is the halal purchasing function, what is a halal procurement strategy, and more about supplier management. So purchasing is extremely important, and also in particular for companies that are producing halal products, but also the service industry, such as retailers, restaurants, and also hotels. First of all, purchasing needs to make sure that all the products you're buying, the services, as well as the works are in compliance with the regulation from your halal certification body. You need to create, as purchasing, also a supplier base that consists of suppliers that have the right halal certificates. Not every supplier needs to have a halal certificate, but your halal certification body will tell you which kind of product services you're buying need to have a halal certificate. The halal certificate needs to be from a halal certification body which is recognized by your halal certification body. And secondly, the halal certificate should not be expired. So every halal certificate has an expiry date, should be valid. Halal is always founded in contracts. So purchasing plays an important role in drafting a contract with your supplier. So there should be contractual terms in that specify the halal assurance. Secondly, also purchasing needs to audit the halal aspects of a relationship with suppliers. Purchasing finally also plays an important role in providing intelligence to the company on new technologies that can be used in production, new technologies of suppliers that can replace animal-based ingredients, additives with non-animal-based ingredients, which is an important factor in halal. Also exploring new suppliers that are locally available and regional available, which is an important preference for halal supply chains, as we will see later. From my experience as advisor to multinationals that wanted to opt for halal certification, we found out that purchasing is one of the most and maybe the most complex business function. In fact, when you start to go for halal certification, most of the problems in preparing the organization for halal certification are put on the plate of procurement. The halal purchasing function consists of three important components. First of all, the halal policy, which is a policy drafted by the company. So if you want to get halal certified, you need to specify what is the responsibility the company has in terms of producing halal or serving halal services, the scope of halal certification, assurance, the assurance to the consumer, and also the method of assurance which is put in place, and also the control mechanism. The procurement strategy is a second important focus in the halal purchasing function, which is covering the commodity strategy as well as supplier management, supplier relation management. Finally, the purchasing process is a part of the purchasing function, covering the tactical as well as the operational processes. In this video, I will only be covering the procurement strategy, whereas in the full masterclass, we also look into the purchasing process. So what is the halal procurement strategy about? A traditional method to design a procurement strategy, people and companies, they use the Kraljic Portfolio Matrix. So the Kraljic Portfolio Matrix is looking at two important factors. First of all, what is the importance of purchasing? And secondly, the supply risk. So what the Kraljic Portfolio approach does, everything you buy, you purchase, is put in 10 to 20 different commodity category groups. So you can have a commodity category of energy, another group of raw materials, another group of IT, another group of maintenance and repair products. So based on those commodity allocation, based on those commodities, you allocate every commodity category into this matrix based on the importance of purchasing of a particular category as well as the supply risk. So the importance of purchasing is based on the money involved. So how much do you purchase over the past 12 months for that commodity? The supply risk, on the other hand, is based on how many potential suppliers do I have for this commodity, the availability of supply, and also the competitive structure in supply markets. So this will give you an allocation in this matrix, and which, according to Peter Kraljic, result in a strategy. So for the strategic quadrant, which is a high importance of purchasing and high supply risk, you normally would have a long-term win-win strategy with your supplier and also provide for contingency planning. Leverage products, which have a high importance of purchasing and a lot of choice of suppliers, you would like to exploit your power position in order to get better prices, but also better supply conditions. Routine products, you have a low value, low importance of purchasing and low supply risk, so a lot of choice of suppliers, little money involved. And you want to reduce suppliers where possible, to simplify sourcing, and also have strategies in place to reduce administrative costs. Finally, bottleneck products, they are low in the importance of purchasing and high in supply risk. So you don't have a lot of choice, not much money involved, but it's creating a lot of energy from purchasing personnel in here. So you want to have volume insurance against possible higher costs. You want to have a better control of vendors and also backup plans put in place. So this was a traditional approach to design procurement strategies for your commodities, but not good enough in case you are Halal certified. So in my research, which I've conducted over quite some years during my PhD, I added two more variables to the Kraljic matrix approach. One variable is the Halal sensitivity of products. The question in here is the product animal-based? In Islam, the use of animal ingredients and additives are in principle prohibited. Also for Halal certification bodies, if the ingredients and additives you're using are animal-based, would be in principle a red flag. There are very high standards and requirements to allow the use of animal-based ingredients and additives. And it goes back to the recognition of the slaughterhouse, the method of slaughtering, and many more components. So if the product is animal-based, it would move in category from low importance to high importance of purchasing. A second component I also added to the Kraljic matrix approach, which is the supply chain partner based in a non-Muslim country? If the supplier is based in a Muslim country, there are very strict requirements, supervision, and also accreditation by the government. So there's an extensive control on producers of halal. In non-Muslim countries, this is often not the case. There's no law to protect the halal certificate of logo. There's often no accreditation by the government of the halal certification body. So it makes it far more risky to deal with suppliers from non-Muslim countries. So you need the supply risk therefore will go from low to a high level. So the impact of halal on the Kraljic matrix therefore could move an earlier allocation in one part of the matrix to a totally different location, which therefore also a different supplier strategy. So a traditional routine product, an animal-based additive, certainly becomes a strategic product, and there are many more possibilities in shifting in that Kraljic matrix. In short, I mean, during the masterclass, we will go much deeper into detail. Halal leads to, in general, about stronger partnership with suppliers and also adopting various strategies to secure continuity of supply. Finally, I would like to share with you more on the supplier management. So this is based on a research I've conducted under the University Malaya Halal Research Center, where I'm an associate member, where we do research on halal procurement strategy. In this research, which we conducted with food multinationals, we wanted to better understand what are halal critical items and also the relationship we should have with suppliers. In our discussion with the food multinational, we discovered that there are various halal critical items we can identify in the purchasing function. First of all, food ingredients are important, which can be animal-based. Equipment and tools used in production, services and works that take place physically in the production facilities. Also, laboratory supplies that can be used for testing in the production process. Primary packaging, which is the packaging that is touching the physical product. Water filters for a lot of the food producers. One of the key ingredients is water. And so water filters are extremely important because traditionally water filters contain carbon, and carbon can be of animal origin from the bones. Cleaning chemicals and hand sanitizers are also considered halal critical items, and also logistics services that taking place, that take ownership or take care of your product along the supply chain. So what was discovered during this research is that those purchasing experts based in those food multinationals, they consider the need for backup plans for those halal critical items. Also, there is a preference for local suppliers of halal critical items as compared to suppliers from far away. Also, there's a need for those halal critical item suppliers that they are halal certified, although this might not be a requirement from the halal certification body. Finally, contingency plans are important for those suppliers that are suppliers of critical items to make sure that there's always sufficient supply of halal critical items. A second area where we looked at was the supplier relationship. So what is the supplier-based structure and size of suppliers of those critical items, the substance of relationship, and what kind of monitoring and evaluation is required. So for the supplier-based structure and size, there's a preference for local or regional sourcing as compared to global sourcing. Instead of having only one single supplier, there should be multiple suppliers that deliver those products, services, or works to you. Regarding the substance of relationship, they want to differentiate between new supplier relationship and more mature supplier relationship. So for new relationship, is extremely important to have a more close control of that supplier, whereas if the relationship is more mature, it can be more distant. In terms of monitoring and evaluation of suppliers, they say for halal critical items, vendor rating is important, benchmarking as well as physical audits. And that might be a dedicated halal audit, or it might be a general audit where halal is also one of the components checks during a supplier audit. I think halal procurement and halal purchasing is an exciting area where little knowledge is still available. So it is important, I think, for the industry to realize that when going from halal certification, purchasing is considered the most complex and I think also the most critical business function, and therefore very important to address. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share also this video with your colleagues and friends. So for more information on halal business management, also please visit halalbusinessmanagement.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.